Back in 2013, my friends and I went to a music festival 3 hours outside our city. On the way back, we took the wrong exit off the highway thanks to poor GPS and ended up deep in some backwoods town no one had heard of. It started raining hard, sheets of it, until visibility dropped to near zero. We slowed to a crawl, trying to find a turnoff, but the fog was thick and unnatural, clinging to the road like smoke. Then we saw them. Lights, 4 or 5, dim and flickering, floating among the trees. At first, we thought it was a campsite or maybe a house, but the lights were moving, drifting side to side with no rhythm. We pulled over, rolled down the window. Silence. Then a sound, like whispers in water. That's when Katie, who was sitting in the back, gasped. "There's someone out there." Figures, human-shaped silhouettes, just standing off the road, not moving. We counted 7, each about 10 feet apart, just facing the car. Then the car's engine died. Not just that, every electronic shut off. The radio, the lights, even our phones. The air inside the car went cold, unnaturally cold, like something reached in and pulled out the warmth. I turned the key. Nothing. We were stuck. And then a knock on the back window. Katie screamed. There was no one there, but a handprint slowly appeared on the glass. When the fog shifted, we could no longer see the figures, just empty woods. After a few long minutes, the car started on its own. No one touched the key. We drove off as fast as we could. We returned a week later to find the road. It didn't exist. The area was just a dead end with overgrown trees. Locals said no one had lived out there in years. And the name of the road? Merriman Lane. Shut down after a group of hikers vanished in the 80s. They were never found. Only their flashlights were discovered, still glowing. I was staying at my aunt's place in the Oregon woods for the weekend. She and my uncle are on a cruise, and I had agreed to house-sit their old rustic home while they were gone. The cabin was remote, surrounded by trees, fog, and endless quiet. The kind of quiet that hums in your ears at night. On the second evening, the sky darkened early. By 9 p.m., the storm had rolled in full force. Rain pounded the tin roof, the wind howled through the chimney, and thunder growled low like something ancient awakening. I curled up on the couch with a blanket and a cup of tea. The fireplace flickered, casting tall, uneasy shadows. Around 1:15 a.m., I was nearly asleep when the doorbell rang. It jolted me upright. I waited, thinking maybe it was a sound from the storm. But then it rang again, 2 slow, deliberate chimes. I hesitated and crept toward the door. There was no peephole, so I pulled the curtain back slightly from the front window. What I saw made my stomach twist. A person, soaked to the bone, just standing there, staring at the door. I couldn't make out a face. The porch light flickered, casting them in a shifting glow. Their head tilted slightly to one side, unmoving. I didn't answer. Instead, I locked the deadbolt, backed away, and turned off the living room lights. Minutes passed in silence. Then came the knock, soft, slow, 4 times. Then nothing. When I finally worked up the courage to check again, the porch was empty, but muddy footprints led around the house. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, the prints were gone, washed away. But that night, it happened again. Except this time, there were multiple sets of footprints, and one of the upstairs windows had been cracked open from the inside. I'm the night manager at the Maple Crest Motel, a small roadside inn in West Virginia. We mostly get truckers, lost tourists, or couples hiding from something. Room 103 has always been different. 3 years ago, a woman died there under strange circumstances. A guest found her sitting in a corner, fully clothed, eyes wide open, smiling, but ice cold. Autopsy said heart failure, but the expression on her face didn't look like fear. It looked like awe. After that, we shut the room down, cleaned it, sealed it, planned for renovations. But it didn't stop. Guests in other rooms began complaining of tapping on the walls, of hearing footsteps in the hallway when no one else was booked. One guest said she saw a woman in white pacing outside room 103 in the rain, barefoot, head tilted to the side. Then came that night. It was a slow Tuesday. A thunderstorm had rolled in and the parking lot was empty, except for one car. I was in the office watching the monitors when the phone rang. Room 103. My blood ran cold. The room hadn't been activated. No one had access. I hesitated, then picked up. There was no voice, only breathing, and a soft whisper. "Check the mirror." Then a scream, sharp, piercing, and the line went dead. I ran down the hall. The door was open. I stepped inside. The room was freezing. The air smelled like wet dirt and lilacs. The bed was made, but on the mirror, written in fog, were the words, "I saw it too." Then the lights died. In the dark, I heard someone giggling, low and soft, coming from the bathroom. I backed out, slammed the door, and called the police. They found nothing. But the camera feed showed something. The door had opened from the inside. No one had gone in.